you outside. Bus will be here anyway.
Let's stay here for a minute. Well, go ahead. Play.
The world of video games has evolved enormously in the past 20 years. It has grown from fringe Nickelodeon-type attractions such as Pong or Pac-Man to a multi-billion-dollar industry and major component of mainstream pop culture. Modern arcades have given rise to their own subculture. It's a fast-paced electronic lifestyle, constantly bathed in a neon glow.
You make a single mistake and it's over. So it's pure concentration.
Pushing someone, getting very frustrated, yelling, swearing. A lot of emotions come out when these kids play.
You're just out there to be better than everyone else. I mean, video games is just a big competitive world. It's a large business and you can't pass it by.
These kids, they sit in front of the TV all day. They put in at least 20 hours. Games that should generally take a normal person about 2-3 weeks to finish, they'll do it in 2 days. They won't sleep. That kind of dedication you don't see involving many other things in video games.
Unfortunately, sometimes the kids will hang out in front of a game for the better part of the afternoon. Hang out and play one of their favorite games from anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours without even thinking twice about moving.
There still are a lot of regulars that still come in here, and they're very dedicated to the games. They spend lots of money, they spend lots of time, and the information that they hold, that they have to maintain, is really incredible.
Well, for arcades, it was about maybe 8 to 9 years at arcades, but playing video games solely, I've been playing since I was 2 years old with my first system of the Belly Home Arcade, and I'm only 16 right now, 17 in a couple months, and you know, arcades and like home systems are my life, basically.
Since I was little, it started, I had the original Atari, and I've just gone up from there.
Long time, at least 11 years. Long time.
I think it starts when you're young, and then as you get older, you know, you work, you get more money, and it kind of feeds the habit, you know.
But yeah, the most I've heard is about 40 hours on a game.
10 hours a day.
10 to 15 hours.
At least 12 hours a week.
Well, maybe 20.
Good 30 to 50 hours, I guess.
From 30 to 50.
Most of them like will play games, they'll come here, they'll start playing games, and they won't stop until like they have to leave.
They really are close. I mean, I have seen friendships spawn from these stores.
It's a good meeting place for all ages.
They build a friendship off of it. It's like a partner. You go to work out and you need someone to spot you. It's the same thing here. When you want to play a video game, you have your friend as competition.
I mean, I guess you could say video games are something that a lot of people have in common, but it's something that I have in common too with a lot of people. But I mean, I don't think it's binding enough to make a real big friendship, at least not in my case at least.
Yeah, I have to say I do. Sometimes even I meet people playing games, and because everybody tries to be nice in here, you know, there's nobody who's really mean.
Actually, my best friend I've met through video games, through the internet and video games, and turns out we went to the same school, and now we go here every week and we play Street Fighter 3 and Vampire Savior together.
Normally when you get kids coming out here, if they haven't maybe they're playing a game and there's another kid who they haven't met before. They're both interested in the same game, or they played the same game somewhere else, and they end up coming here. Next thing you know, they have a passion for the same game, and next thing you know, they're playing together, and they're thinking, wow, man, you're really good. And next thing you know, they start getting phone numbers, and they start meeting up here and going against one another on a game.
You will get one stranger come in and look at the PlayStation section, for example, and then somebody else will come in and pick up a game. And the first guy will go, that's a great game. And then they'll start talking, they'll go do lunch. Honest to God, this has happened several times. I almost felt like opening like a little extended lounge area where they could sit down and we can have forums and they could discuss.
I've actually met a girl at the arcade and who I'm seeing at the time right now. She's gotten better. I've taught her, you know, good.
So yeah, gamers take it a little too seriously sometimes.
I'm regarded, or supposedly regarded, as one of the better Street Fighter players like in Chicago history, if that counts for anything. And I guess, I mean, I do have a following, but I mean, it's not a real following, but you know, I mean, when you say my name, it's kind of synonymous with the game.
It depends on the person. Some people, yes, it is their life. Some people, you know, some people just do it to be entertaining and have some fun.
The closest thing that ever happened to me, the closest thing to a fight, was there was a kid, a little kid, and we beat him at Street Fighter 3. So then his older brother came over, and he started acting all tough around us playing, and he was playing really cheap, and he ended up beating us. So we threw some quarters at him, but that's the closest thing to a fight that's ever happened to us.
Some guy was so frustrated and losing all the time. He, you know, just started pushing people around, and you know, then just people. Yeah, we took him down basically.
Fights are real big, not extremely big like street fighting or anything like that, but when you're playing a fighting game and there's a guy who's really cheap and he keeps beating everyone and like 80 wins in a row, you know, there's always that one person that gets aggravated and will just go for it and change the video games into real life.
I think we've only had about maybe 2 or 3 fights here in the 5 years that I've been here, over games and over competition. Some of the kids that do play here, or adults that play, do take it very seriously. When that happens, if two guys are in a tournament and one of the guys maybe did a move that's not kosher or is not really part of the arcade laws, then it could translate into a fight.
I excel higher above than most of my friends, except the older guys that I met here at Super Just, and they kind of stooped low and they just said that video games are for children, so I guess I'm still a child, you know.
Beats having a drug addiction.
Yeah, they're strange. Gamers are a strange breed. They really are.